All right. Hello there. Thanks for coming back. So in this video, I want to cover server core installations. And I know you do too, so let's get started right away. You probably already know, but let me just refresh your memory. Server core is a minimal installation option introduced in Windows Server 2008. It's a way to run Windows Server with a limited set of features and with support for only certain server roles. The Server Core installation option is available in the Standard, Enterprise, and Data Center editions of Windows Server 2008. So with Server Core, Microsoft stripped away all the features, including the Graphical User Interface, or GUI, other than the essential ones to run core network services, such as Active Directory Domain Servers, ADDS, DNS, Dynamic Host Configuration Protocol, or DHCP, and file and print services. So the Windows Server Core installation stands in stark contrast to the full installation option for Windows Server, which actually supports installing all available server roles as well as other Microsoft and third-party server applications like Microsoft Exchange Server or SAP. So this Server Core installation option is a Windows installation option available for Windows servers, just so we're clear. This installation option debuted in Windows Server 2008 and is available for all recent Windows Server versions. A Server Core installation provides a minimal environment for running specific server roles, which reduces the maintenance and management requirements, as well as the attack surface for those particular server roles. So a server running a Server Core installation supports these server roles: Active Directory Domain Services, ADDS, Active Directory Lightweight Directory Services, ADLDS, DHCP Server, DNS Server, File Services, Print Services, Streaming Media Services, Web Server, IIS. So to accomplish all this, the Server Core installation option installs only the subset of binary files that are required by the supported server roles. So for example, the Explorer shell is not installed as part of a Server Core installation. Instead, the default user interface for a server running a Server Core installation is going to be the command prompt. Now, unlike a Windows Server installation in full with a graphical user interface included, the Server Core installation option requires initial configuration by command prompt. A Server Core installation does not include the traditional full graphical user interface. So once you've configured the server, you can manage it locally by command prompt or remotely using a terminal server connection. Now, you can also manage the server remotely using the Microsoft Management Console MMC or command line tools that support remote use. So this Server Core installation option provides some pretty great benefits. First of all, reduce maintenance, right? Because the Server Core installation option installs only what's required to have a manageable server for the ADDS, ADLDS, DHCP server, DNS server, file services, print services, and streaming media services roles, so less maintenance is required than a full Windows Server installation with a graphical interface. Reduced attack surface. Because Server Core installations are minimal, there are fewer applications running on the server, which decreases the attack surface. Reduce management. Because fewer applications and services are installed on a server running the Server Core installation, there's less to manage. Less disk space required. So a Server Core installation requires only about 1 gigabyte of disk space to install and approximately 2 gigabytes for operations after the installation. Sounds pretty sweet, huh? So when you install Windows Server, you install only the server roles that you choose. This also helps reduce the overall footprint for Windows Server. However, the server with the desktop experience installation option still installs many services and other components that really aren't needed for a particular usage scenario. But see, that's what we're talking about. That's exactly where Server Core comes into play. The Server Core installation eliminates any services and other features that are not essential for the support of certain commonly used server roles. For example, a Hyper-V server doesn't need a graphical user interface because you can manage virtually all aspects of Hyper-V either from the command line using Windows PowerShell or remotely using the Hyper-V Manager. So when you finish installing Server Core on a system and then sign in for the first time, you might just be in for a bit of a surprise. See, the main difference between the server with desktop experience installation option and the Server Core is the Server Core does not include the following GUI shell packages: Microsoft Windows Server Shell Package, Microsoft Windows Server GUI MGMT Package, Microsoft Windows Server GUI RSAT Package, and Microsoft Windows Cortana PAL Desktop Package. So in other words, there's no desktop in Server Core, and that, my friends, is by design. Now, while maintaining the capabilities required to support traditional business applications as well as role-based workloads, Server Core does not have a traditional desktop interface. Instead, Server Core is designed to be managed remotely through the command line, through PowerShell, or a GUI tool like RSAT or Windows Admin Center. Now, in addition to no UI, Server Core also differs from the server with a desktop experience in these ways. Server Core does not have any accessibility tools, no out-of-the-box experience, or OOBE, for setting up Server Core, and no audio support. Yeah, but here, check out this table. This is going to show you which applications are available locally on Server Core versus server with a desktop experience. Now, this is important. See, in most cases, applications that are listed as not available below can be run remotely from a Windows client computer or Windows Admin Center to manage your Server Core installation. So here's a list now that reflects the FOD level as of version 1809, which is Server 2019 LTSC. So you can greatly enhance your Server Core compatibility by applying an FOD package newer than 1809. Let me just stress that that's version 1809, right? Not the year 1809. Yeah, you got it. Okay, so guess what? We're going to wrap it up here. I know you know more now about Server Core installations. I'll see you in the next video. I look forward to that.